Jump successful. I am not detecting any biofactories yet. We have to walk around and search for them ourselves. This area is primarily flat and open. We should be able to navigate it quickly.
I would like to gather more specimens of those large four-legged beasts if we run into them. I need to know the extent of the X-Morph engineering within them. This might tell us where they're headed with their designs and how to combat them better. Buildings has been destroyed.
Ashley, I'm detecting dark energy bursts in a few locations around us. These must be hybrid biofactories. We should go there and destroy them.
There's a lot of them. If we don't act quickly, they will overrun us. Let's get to work. Destroyed the first biofactory. It looks like they were heavily defended by X-Morph defense towers. I think they expected us. It looks like the weather's calming down. Wind is getting slower. The wind is very slow today. biofactory destroyed. I think they're creating all these Florian creatures. They've been preparing to destroy us.
I'm detecting a rise in activity at the remaining biofactory locations. They are ramping up their efforts. Wind speed projection is returning back to statistically normal values. Wind turbines are back at nominal power levels. Destroyed. Good work, Ashley.
We've gathered enough samples of the Florian creatures. Their design is very cool. We probably shouldn't call them a species, as they cannot reproduce on their own. These organisms are powered by morphine, and I don't think they would be able to survive without it. It is hard to say how long they can survive on the supply that they carry within their bodies. They can communicate amongst themselves and appear to function autonomously. There's no evidence to support that they're controlled remotely, and I can't rule that out either.
Detecting any more biofactories in this area. Mission complete, Ashley.
That should slow them down significantly and buy us more time.
I am afraid they will not let us rest here. Worrying signals are coming in from the Metallic Valley outpost. We should go there as soon as possible.
There's never a dull moment. Let's jump back there as soon as possible. We're back at the Metallic Valley outpost. Let me guess. There's a huge swarm of creatures heading our way, and we should prepare our defenses.
No. At least, I'm not detecting any immediate danger at the moment.
That's almost disappointing. So why did we have to get back here in such a hurry?
We've detected multiple Exmorph influence pylons appear around our outpost. They have covered a significant portion of the land with that metallic surface.
That's disturbing. We still don't know what these objects do. Let's go out and try to inspect more of them. Maybe this time we can find some more clues about where they're coming from.
It will not be difficult to find these pylons. They should be common outside our base. We could also build a few radar stations to detect more of them.
The first one disappeared just like each one that we scanned earlier. Mr. Riggs, did you catch any new readings from this event?
No, just a short burst of dark energy.
We've activated a few of them. Is there any difference between these attempts?
Yes, there are minor differences in dark energy emissions. They might have a slight directional focus.
Maybe they're communicating back to their central entity this way.
We do not have enough data to confirm that.
Okay, let's activate a few additional pylons.
Ashley, this is it. All of these pylons emit a dark energy pulse upon activation. They share a stronger emission spectrum with a common direction vector. I need a bit more time to analyze this data.
Finally, if we can pinpoint where they're transmitting these signals, it might lead us to their central processing hub. This is so exciting.
I am afraid that we also have some more pressing matters to attend to. Our long-range sensors are picking up an entire army of these hybrid creatures heading towards this outpost. This is going to be the most brutal attack yet. We have to use everything that we have at our disposal to defend this base. If they can destroy it, then they will probably try to attack our headquarters next.
The power of these attacks is growing very quickly. It looks like the production base that we destroyed recently didn't help us with lowering their strength.
We don't know how big this attack would have been if we hadn't destroyed that facility.
True. We still have some time. Let's start preparing.
I can sense the ground shaking. I estimate a few thousand creatures running at our base. They are very close. Prepare yourself, Ashley.
We've made all the preparations that we could. Let's go out and meet them.
Base is under attack. Threat neutralized. Good job, Ashley. This attack was exceptional.
Definitely. My heart is still pumping. These attacks are removing my scientific curiosity. I want to destroy these abominations now. I feel angry, exhausted, and disgusted. There is no beauty in these creatures. They're just a mindless mass of flesh fused with metal. We have to destroy the source of this plague or they'll infect the entire planet. Mr. Riggs, do we have any progress on the data that we've gathered from those Exmorph influence pylons?
Yes, I was running data analysis all the time in the background. I have a log on a very odd location. All of the influence pylons were beaming energy to a common point. I think we can assume that those were data transmissions.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. All of the Exmorph-related objects and creatures were somehow tied to dark energy phenomenon that we can't fully grasp yet. That's why we couldn't work out what's happening around here. Can you tell me more about that location?
We can't rift jump directly to that location. It is surrounded by very dense rock formations, full of heavy element minerals that distort the functioning of most of our equipment. We will have to walk up there through a narrow passage amongst the rocks.
How fitting! A single path to the lair of evil. I'm sure it wasn't designed that way on purpose.
Ashley, are you mocking this situation?
No, not at all. But jokes aside, we should prepare our gear before we jump there. Let's upgrade whatever we can.
That is a good idea. Just remember not to postpone this for too long. The X-Morph are probably growing in strength with every minute.